What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Brett Saber Chalks and Board video, and today I'm going to be covering why am I into radio and why do I love it so much. Well, it's a really long story. I got to tell you, when I first got into radio, when I wanted to do radio, it all happened basically all by accident. That's what happened. There's this guy on YouTube. His channel's still up, by the way. Like, he had like a little radio station, a little low power radio station down in North Dakota. And he just documented him broadcasting and teaching how to do basic broadcasting stuff, like overlapping and talking into a microphone, cueing records, stuff like that. I was like, I'm gonna keep watching this guy. This is really interesting. And I kept watching and watching. And I was like, I want to do radio. I want to do radio for, like, mind you, this is in 2021. Not even close to where we are now. I didn't even have a transmitter yet. So I might put a little snippet of what the videos he was doing it about, and I might put a little link to his channel in my description, which I probably will.
Okay, it's starting to come back down now, so we passed it. We'll circle around, see if we can hone in on the particular block that the signal is at. How we queue up a record. In the old days, you always had to queue a record to get it ready for airplay, so that when you started the turntable, the song began right away, hence no dead air. So, here's a little demonstration on how to cue a record. What you do is you find the very beginning of the song and you go back about 3/4 of a turn, depending upon the turntable. That's how far back you have to go so that it starts and is up to speed by the time the song starts, is what I was trying to say. So there you are. That's how it's done. Before 10 o'clock on Modern Rock 94.5, 14 degrees below zero, and it's a cold one. From 1985, it is Dead or Alive. The name of the album is called Youthquake, and as long as you don't have to look at these people, it's just fine. You Spin Me Round and Round and Round is the name of the track. The hottest modern rock on the planet is yours.
So yeah, I kept watching this guy, and I begged my mom for an FM transmitter because I looked on Amazon and I found out you could buy a transmitter, a low power transmitter, and I was like, I want that. And what happened was that didn't happen. It was in 2021, and then I just forgot about it for a couple of years. Fast forward to 2022, the end of 2022 during the summer. I was scrolling around YouTube like I normally do, and I found a video from a guy about making a VHF/UHF TV transmitter. And I was like, this is it. This is the cheapest way I can transmit. And well, I bought the supplies. I think it was like an RF modulator, an antenna, an amplifier, an HDMI to RCA converter. I bought that, and I made a little TV station. I mind you, it's not powerful as this back here, this transmitter, but I could get a signal out. So I used that, and then I think it was me and my dad are driving back from Caldwell. We were driving on the highway. And we were listening to like T95, which is a station in like Wichita/Derby. And I was like, hey, you know, it'd be kind of cool if I created a radio station out of my house. And I was like, So what I did with that RF modulator and that TV transmitter I made is I disconnected the video feed and connected it to a computer, which I still have the computer that I did have all this with, by the way. And I used it to play music over the air, and I connected a microphone to a cheap mixer, and I was on my way. I made it work, and it worked beautifully. Thinking, fast forward, thinking. It worked for a couple years until it started just getting wonky, and it just wasn't working right. And I was like, this is too low power. If I want to create a radio station, I'm going to need to up my power. I was like, hey, let's just get an FM transmitter. I looked on Amazon, and I found one that was like 9 watts. And I bought it. And then I got it. And I also found out on my, I was watching YouTube too. I found this guy called 4.4. He does CB reviews and stuff like that. But he was making a video about this FM antenna for an FM transmitter. And I was like, dude, this would be cool. So, yeah. I did that. And I got all of it in. First thing I got in was a transmitter, and it came with a telescoping antenna. And I broadcast with that for a couple days. Broadcast, more like messing around with it, getting to where I like it. And another thing, I got that antenna in, and I put in pictures of what the tower I had looked like. But it was just a piece of PVC on a piece of steel pipe. And it worked. It worked for a while. And then kept broadcasting with that. Kept broadcasting with that. Everything was going well. And I'll put some pictures in where it started broadcasting. It was out there in the shed. It all started out in the shed. And, well, it worked. It was really bad because it was hot in the summers. It was hot in that shed, and I couldn't really do a broadcast. But I fit the transmitter in there, ran my coax out to the antenna, and I was able to get a signal out. I was able to be heard in Ark City. And I had a little mixer. I have this mixer to this day. So, yeah. And, yeah. I kept broadcasting like that, and then I was like, I had enough of this, and I moved into my room. And here's the studio now. Right here. Over the years, I had enough of using that crappy mixer. Got a new mixer, a realistic console, and I got a new microphone, which works, and I got an 8-track machine right here. You guys can see that. And a CD changer and record player for playing on air and stuff like that. Yes. Another thing. I think after I moved in to the house, my mom works for this company called 4 County Mental Health. And they do these tours, like at local businesses, they do these tours. And they just going around doing tours of places in town. And then I think it was like a week before she did this, but she was like, hey Brett, I'm doing a tour at KSOK. Would you want me to ask if you want to be on the air and hang out there for a little bit? And I was like, yeah! So, yeah. I went on there to KSOK and got to know everybody there. Brett C., Shane Farley, owner Steve Lundgren, and everybody there. And I was able to have a good time broadcasting. And then, yeah, I was on the air and all that. And then nothing really much happened after that, really. And then I was like, I realized this 99.0 frequency, that was the frequency I stayed on for a while. I was like, this ain't working. So, my second iteration of a tower was basically a fiberglass ladder cut in half with like just a piece of pipe on the end of it. So it was like one of those. It was like one of those swinging antenna towers, like you put an old TV antenna on, like the ones you see all the time. Might put a picture in what I'm talking about. Yeah, I built that, and I realized when it gets really, there's no guy wires on it at all. It's not really it wasn't really supported by anything. The thing that was really holding it up was like a fence post. But like it just gets so windy, and I feel like the tower's about to fall over and all that. And it wasn't really concrete. It wasn't held in by concrete or anything like that. But yeah. Then I was like, I need a tower. I need a tower bad. So I was like, I got everything in here professional. I got the mixer and everything. I need a tower. So in the front yard for a while, there sat like a flagpole. There's a flagpole that sat out there for years and years and years since we moved to the house. And I was like, hey, I could build a tower from that. So I did. Got my Sawzall, cut it down, and then made a concrete base with some pipe. I wish I should have took pictures of the building process, but yeah, I might throw some pictures of it. And I did that, and I extended the flagpole a little bit, and then put all my antennas on there. I have 2 antennas on that tower currently. I have my main FM antenna to broadcast with, and I got a television antenna because this TV right here is connected to that antenna, so I can pick up KSNW TV3. I can pick up channels all the way down in Oklahoma City. I can get good coverage. So yeah, I got that tower built, and then I was like, my frequency where it is right now, it sucks. So what I did is I shifted frequencies. I went down one. These on car stereos, they don't count like 99.0, 99.01, no, not like that. They skip. So like if you're at 98.9, you go to 99.1. It doesn't go by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes by 1, 3, 5. You know what I'm talking about. So I shifted frequencies, and over time, it just got more and more and more popular, and got more and more coverage. And after I upgraded that tower, I was like, my power is spotty. I don't get far enough out. And what I did, it was me and Cooper Massey. Me and Cooper Massey were hanging out in class. It was like it was the last day of school. We were hanging out in class. We were talking about radio and stuff like that. And I don't know, I guess I made a mistype on Google. I thought I was being part 15 radio transmitter. I guess I thought it was 15 watt. So I was able to find a 15 watt radio transmitter. And it was expensive. It was damn near $200. I bought it, and here it is. The silver thing, you can't see it, but it's down there. I can get a little picture of it. But yeah, I'm about 15 watts. My signal gets way out. I've had reports that my signal's been heard at the state line between Kansas and Oklahoma. And have reports I've been heard by the hospital, which is very far away. But yeah. And one thing I have to say is my mom really made this possible, because I didn't have money for this shit. I didn't have money for this. My mom made it possible, and I love her for that. And all the other people that really made me really want to keep going is my friends and KSOK. KSOK really wanted to keep me going. And I really love that KSOK support. So, this is just a little fun video I wanted to make. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, boys.